Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get it higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo.
I am honestly convinced that this country needs to be looked at again. The structure of the country is designed in such a way that we accuse each other and no one is better off. We should review. After all, the amalgamation has expired and the constitution is to be reviewed by the National Assembly. So I will say to you that, look, I think this country needs to be reviewed and I think need to be fairly and equitably structured. Now I am saying honestly, the structure of this country is not working. I don't want to be accused even when I am suffering. I want my people to wake up and rise up and feel proud, just like every other Nigerian will feel proud when that sense of ownership is created. I'm a northerner, I'm from Kano State, and I have been accused by colleagues and brothers in a very civil political discussion of dominating the polity, dominating the economy, and dominating the security. So I asked the question, if I dominate the polity, I have the president. Yes, I have the executive council and appointees that are constitutional, just like every other state. But what is my economic situation? And what is my security situation today? So the question is it working for me if I dominate somebody? It's not. The question is, look at all the indices of development. The North today is actually worse off. Security, education, prosperity, development, I don't know. What have you?
Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you're watching from. This is Maiyegun live. And thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are joining from. Share the broadcast. And if the audio is perfect, let me know. And let's get started. Share the video.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun diary Maiyegun #1.
Thank you very much. Remember this. Nigeria is pardoning terrorists. Nigeria is rehabilitating terrorists without considering the effect of such decisions on the soldiers who became injured and incapacitated while fighting these monsters, without considering the effect of this on the families of soldiers who died while fighting these monsters. And not to talk about the victims who are in their millions, whose parents have been killed, their children killed, wife, husband killed, and relatives killed, but they survived only to be living in refugee camps in northern Nigeria, abandoned, forgotten. I don't think they actually, thought about the effects. And we are now asking, if those who committed the worst crime in Nigeria are being pardoned without any court trial, there should be no criminal in any prison in Nigeria as we speak. Share the Earlier today, I was reading about IBB's birthday. And guess what? The people that became the victims of military tyranny, military dictatorship, those who claimed to be fighting for primarily fighting for the Yoruba people because of the criminality of the military junta led by Babangida himself, who eventually annulled the presidential election of 1993, adjudged to be the best, election or presidential election in Nigeria history. He annulled it only for those criminals who eventually ran away from Nigeria in the name of Nadeco, got back to Nigeria, got into government, and could no longer defend Yoruba land, only for them to come back and praise Babangida. I'm talking about the governor of Ekiti State, and many of them. They are now calling Babangida elder statesman. They are calling him all this kind of beautiful names. Somebody who promoted democracy, supported democracy. Oh dear! Right before our eyes, we are going to see them praise Boko Haram, praise APC, Egbekegbe very soon. Despite all the atrocity, the division, the killing, the murderous, bloody trail that they are living in their own, government as we speak. Yes, I saw that today, and I was flabbergasted, I'll say. Share my video. We are in a tailspin. We are in a deep problem, right? And the only reason why we are in this problem is because we are part of Nigeria. There is something they try to push all the time, the one homogeneous northern Nigeria, which doesn't exist, by the way. And those who are pushing it have done so well for themselves that they've managed to use the leveler of power to keep this myth alive. Homogeneous north. There's nothing like that. But because we don't have any homogeneous south, even though we should, where we have everything, equal, religious-wise, and then our way of life, so to say. But for the first time, due to the failure of those who thought holding power, controlling power, being able to say, you sit down there, you stand up, you go to prison, you go to exile, or you go into a palace. Those who thought they have all the power of, the beginner and the finisher, they were sad when their failure of being able to protect all of us has now led to the political class in southern Nigeria to come up with a resolution that they were banning open grazing to start with, among other things, right? This triggered those who claim to be the owners of power to feel like for the first time, it seems that they are losing it. But I want to talk about that southern solidarity in a way. If that can actually really get to be a kind of another southern homogeneous myth that we are one, if that can make a difference, now which I believe it can, right? But genuinely this time around led by the people, right? Maybe, just maybe, we can prevent the calamities of what these guys are doing. Because you know the danger is this. When they pardon terrorists who have committed the worst crime in the past 12 years in Nigeria, and they know that they will never be prosecuted or tried for any reason, rather, they will choose to either die or even surrender and then, you know. However, we know that these criminals are so patient, they are so relaxed, they are so calm, that if it's going to take them 50 years to achieve whatever caliphate they are pushing for, they will. And it doesn't matter how many numbers of people that have to die. Now, the danger of this is that when you now give them amnesty in Nigeria, you don't know where they are going to end at. Whether they're going to end up that forgiven terrorist from Niger, that forgiven terrorist from Libya, you don't know where they're going to end up at. And the mission is the same. You can kill them, but you can't kill the ideology. And that is what dragged us, or we as a Southerner, the misfortune that has befallen us. So if there's any time we need homogeneity and what have you, right, it is now. Just like they came out to say, we are banning open grazing, and we will make sure that every state in southern Nigeria pass the law to ban open grazing. Trust me, so far so good. Almost 80% of the southern states have passed the law to ban open grazing, but none of them has the capacity to implement the ban. They don't have army, they don't have soldiers, they don't have anything, they don't have any kind of recruited force or what have you to implement it. But they can have it if they want to. And that's exactly what we are probably asking them to try to do now. Election in 2023 is another gimmick to keep us tagged or get stuck in this unholy arrangement, which will further, right, give them more time to build whatever caliphate they are planning to build. Listen to this. As you are watching this video, Nigeria military, they have released over 7,000 those they called repentant terrorists. The procedure, the process of that rehabilitation, the process of identifying those ones who have really committed crime and those who they said were probably lured into it and all of, or what have you, right? We don't know what criteria they used. Now, that arrangement of releasing terrorists hasn't reduced terrorism. It hasn't reduced the kidnapping. The insecurity situation has further kind of, worsened. Not just that. As Nigeria continue to implement the pardon program, that they can't even, none of them can explain what this is all about to Nigeria in a plain terms. They kept talking about Geneva Convention about, what's this again? Something about laws of, rules of engagement, something like that. Yeah, rules of engagement, which says if somebody who is fighting war, right, and eventually is surrendered, right, he must not be maltreated. In fact, he should be kept in a safe custody, okay? And for whatever crime is committed, he is a prisoner of war. So it will become part of the negotiation when the war ends and the peace and truce is settled, ceasefire is, agreed. Then you can bring out all the prisoners of war and say, well, we found that these guys actually committed this social crime that are unforgivable. But you see, all the rest of these ones that we have arrested, right? We will release them for peace. And you know what I mean? Like, that is if you're fighting war. But you are fighting terrorists. Terrorists who wants to enforce Islamic Sharia rule on the entire country, starting with the northern Nigeria. And they have been doing it for the past 12 years. Hundreds of thousands of people have been killed during this period, right? And this onslaught and this killing still continues. Just today, they said ISIL the ISIS gave order to the Nigeria ISIS that they should reshuffle their leadership cabinets after some of their some of their commanders surrendered to Nigeria. So in the last 5-6 days, suddenly, thousands of repentant terrorist fighters started surrendering to Nigeria military. No trial, no nothing. And the military came out and they said they have pardoned them because according to the international convention, international law, because they have surrendered, therefore, they cannot be maltreated, which is true, but it doesn't mean that they have to be released in a program where these terrorists continues to take territories, continue to hoist their flags all across the northern Nigeria as you are watching this video. The children kidnapped about 2 months ago. Children, and when I say children, I'm talking about school children who are as young as 7 years old. They are still in the captivities of their captors in Niger State for 2 months now, 139 of them. There's a report that came in today, right, that some school children have been kidnapped again by these terrorists. And while Nigeria continue to pardon them, and Nigerians have no clue the names, the identities of these guys, no clue about the process that actually, freed them. Yeah, they continue to do that. Why the terror continue to spread? And I ask, would you still justify the lockup? Somebody said 3 years old. 3-year-old kid. That's true. It was that bad. They attacked a school in Niger State where children from poor homes, some of them, their parents have been killed by these same terrorists, right? So a school that was self-funded by, a man and his wife, a family. They started a small school to help the underprivileged children who have become whose parents have become victims of Boko Haram. And guess what? These children goes to this school nearly for free. Some of them pay as little as 20 naira to attend the school. This was supposed to be the poorest school you would ever come across if a documentary was run on them. But this was the school that the terrorists attacked, and they kidnapped all the children, including the children of the proprietors of the school. And for 2 months now, some of the parents have paid. They sold their properties. Those who had properties sold their land, sold everything they could, even though they came up with a meager from what the kidnappers were asking for. 500 million naira was what they were asking for the children. The parents have raised, I don't know, but still 139 of them are still with the captors for 2 months. Children in the forest with gun-wielding, drug-abusing criminals, lunatics in the forest. And mind you, the idea is very simple. Don't send your children to any school. Their elites in northern Nigeria are more interested in power. They are more interested in what happened in NNPC. They are more interested in the oil blocks in Niger Delta and every other part of southern Nigeria. They are more interested in the revenues and the taxes generated from the southern Nigeria, the sharing, and they are more interested in saying they call the shot in all the ministries, parastatals, and agencies. They are more interested in power, control, force, all that stuff. But yet, they watch the North bleed and slid completely or almost now into the hands of the total extremists who are hell-bent in enforcing Sharia on the people of northern Nigeria. And that's why I said, listen, the whole thing can be broken. America is not going to do it, okay? UK is not going to do it. You should all begin to bury that thought, okay? There's nobody coming to do it for you. What will happen is what happened in Afghanistan, okay? By the time these criminal governments in power, Boko Haram's government and the rest of them, by the time they are done with us, yeah, many of us who are yet to agree that Nigeria is irredeemable. It is set up to fail, set up to kill you. It is set up to kill me physically and every other way, right? So And the only way to break out of the whole thing is to understand that your every effort to maintain the status quo, right, is pretty much should be considered as a suicide effort of yours, who just chose to continue on a suicide mission that Nigeria, which happens to be the Nigerian path. How do you release terrorists in a country of 200 million people where you have over 500,000 security forces that could or should defend the land, but unable to, deliberately choose not to, like the Taliban and the American formed government in Afghanistan, right? Similar thing is what we have in Nigeria. When you look at the population of those in charge of the Nigerian security agencies and all of that, the Nigeria military, Nigeria defense, look at the population of those who make up the contingents of soldiers, policemen, and the rest. You will find the largest number or percentage of that number from northern Nigeria, the most terrorized part of that country, right? When you look at those, the hierarchy of those who control the levelers of power currently in the past 6 years in Nigeria, right? And you realize that they have an army of over 600,000, agents, and yet the Boko Haram, the Fulani bandits, Fulani terrorists, the ISWAP, the Ansaru, and every other criminal organization operating in northern Nigeria that continually showed to the rest of the world that it is just a matter of time before they will take over Nigeria. And if you are relying on the Nigerian security force to stop them, then you are not, in fact, you are not living. You are not learning. You have no idea what is going on. Tell me, how possible is this? When everybody put this on paper and they say, even almighty America could not defeat terrorism, that is a very, very foolish argument. There is no terrorism in America like you have the Boko Haram in Nigeria. There are no terrorist organizations in America kidnapping school children, destroying, what do you call it? Killing soldiers, killing American soldiers in America, kidnapping American security agents and beheading them, kidnapping people and kidnapping Americans because they are Christians, and then they are beheading them and shooting them in the head. There's no way in America that you see any terrorist organization. So if America can't defeat a terrorist terrorist abroad, right? That shouldn't be a template for you to say Nigeria too can't defeat those who shouldn't have the strength to pull all this off for 12 years. So if they ask you, why couldn't America defeat Taliban in Afghanistan? Why were they unable to defeat this and that? You should be answering your own question, because the answer is obvious. The people who want the Taliban in Afghanistan and those who are also forced to accept the Taliban's way of life to stay alive, and those who don't want the Taliban, when you put all these numbers in a basket and you separate them in a way, you realize that there is no way even 100,000 of American forces can do more than just to buy time like they did for 20 years. It's just a matter of time. But look at Nigeria. There are locals who also believed, who agreed with the teachings and the beliefs of the Boko Haram. They believe that they are fighting for a just cause. They believe that the reason why everything is not working for them is simply because they are trapped in a country led by the infidels, mixed up with the people who are not supposed to, who don't believe in Allah and the rest of that. And how do you think they were able to recruit those who are shooting for them locally and abroad? Is it not because of those who believe in them? Then we talk about those that the territories they have managed to take over, where people are already obeying the Sharia rule of the Boko Haram. People are already paying taxes to them. Farmers are paying taxes to Boko Haram before they could go to their farms. In so many parts of northern Nigeria, as we speak today, police stations that you see everywhere in southern Nigeria. If you go to northern Nigeria, they will tell you some areas, police don't go there at all. You will never have wherever crime is committed there, Nigeria is not involved. Yes, in northern Nigeria of today. But they're hiding all of this information from the rest of the country until when you will wake up one day and you'll be asking yourself, why is it impossible for the Nigerian military to stop them when they take over Sokoto, when they take over this or take over that and declare their caliphate? But here it is. That's when you will know that more than half of Nigerian military and security agents are made up of those who are sympathizers with the terrorists. And that is dangerous. You know why? You and I are not party to that. But we are meant to stay and stick to it. Or we are going to be considered as enemies of one Nigeria. So when you ask them to define that one Nigeria, there should be some factors, there should be some variables, there should be things that should make that one Nigeria meaningful for somebody to be convinced that it's worth to accept this nonsense, this danger as our own destiny of being one Nigeria. I mean, that's the danger. But it's more. Apart from their policy on protecting terrorists, which is something they don't see as terrorism. And you must understand this. Those who support the criminals who are committing all these crimes and those who are protecting them, Nigerian military has the intelligence. Nigerian security forces have all the intelligence. They have the resources to track down these guys. They can determine where they are within they know where they are. There's no point in me saying they can determine again. If Sheikh Osama Ngumi could locate all the terrorists and he could have a conversation with them where they told him point blank why they are doing what they are doing, then who told you that the Nigerian security agents don't know where these guys are? Of course they do. When these guys shot down, when these terrorists shot down fighter jets in Nigeria, because they felt like, why is this jet just flying over here in Niger? They didn't go back there to bombard the entire place and arrest them. They just let the news fizzle out. And at the same time, they sent military jets to Libya to go and bring the families of killed ISIS fighters. I hope you have read that in the news as well. Nigeria sending jets to Libya to go and bring back the families of killed ISIS fighters for rehabilitation in Nigeria. Who is going to pay for that? Or who is paying for all of this? Of course, Southern Nigeria is paying for it. Even though the same Southern Nigeria and the political class from that part are going cap in hand to the same criminals who can't even protect their own people, who can use that same power to keep the North safe. Look at the mess that is going on in Jos right now, in Plateau State. The news came out, they told us that 39 people, 39 travelers were killed and they were Muslims. We saw the pictures of that, gory pictures of those people murdered. You would expect the military, the soldiers, or their security agents to swing into action and arrest the perpetrators. But listen to this. Around the area where they said the people were killed, just 2-3 days before that, that same community witnessed a 3 days, endless attacks from the Fulani terrorists. Over 80 of them were killed. And in their own way of retaliating, they moved to the street, they moved to the motorway, to the expressway. And innocent people who were coming from their own prayer, New Year prayer, Muslims, they were stopped in that bus. And from the eyewitness, they separated Christians from Muslims, and then they took 39 of them, killed them. In retaliation, that is what Nigeria has become. Guess what? That didn't even end there. Rather than the same security agents to come in as well and curb it, you know what happened? it has turned to a big mess right now. They have turned it into religious war. And you know that Jos is always known for this kind of religious attacks. Even one was led by Issa Pantantami, Issa Pandemic, the current Minister of Communication in Nigeria. They've turned it into religious war as we speak. And University of Jos, students are now we have received the report that students are now trapped in their schools. This is what Nigeria has become. And this is the fate of those who are going to that same place to seek power, even when their own home is currently burning. They have the idea of what this should be, but I can understand their fear. Their fear is that forget about the beautiful pictures you see on social media every now and then. Forget about the beautiful parties and all of that these guys organize. Forget about the fancy cars that they drive and the fancy speeches they give in those fancy dresses. Yeah? Many of them knows that they are all living on a borrowed time. And the only way to sustain it is to continue to massage the fraud called Nigeria. That is why when they said they were starting or banning, they were banning open grazing in southern Nigeria, many of us were kind of happy. But we also told you that they have no resources to do it. But they were some of them were waiting. They know that northern Nigeria, with these northern elite criminals led by Boko Haram gang, the parasite, the cankerworm, the scavengers, the scroungers who have, made the southern Nigeria poor and will become poorer, terrorized, as long as we remain as part of Nigeria. Those who knows that the best way out is either to get a restructured Nigeria that doesn't have to make any southerner or from southern Nigeria to have to be so entangled in this mad, bullish relationship, murderous relationship called one Nigeria. They know they could ask for it, but asking for that will probably lead to them losing all their privileges. And they also know that even among those who have their followers, right, who pretty much not happy with what is going on, if they were called upon to carry on what is going on, even worse, they will do even worse. So that put these guys who call themselves the southern politicians, who are not really representing anybody but themselves, that put them in a further dilemma, a dilemma of having to just dine with the devil. Their own houses are burning right now. Southern Nigeria is bleeding. Economically, security-wise, we are bleeding. You know that, they know that, and they know that the future is bleak. But somehow they are telling themselves, maybe we can just make a deal, and maybe one of us should just be president. If one of us become president, maybe we can try and save our people. Like one of them never was a president before. Obasanjo was a president for 8 years with the total power to make anything happen. But what happened? He ended up having to feather his own nest. So these guys are going cap in hands to the people who have brought serious destruction economically, and then even the unity they are talking about is completely in tatters as we speak. But rather than them to man up and use the momentum, the moment where it is going to be a payback time for those power hungry, know nothing, freeloaders, those opportunists like Boko Haram gang. This is like the moment of truth, where there are people who have been chanting Sai barbarians, right? This is the moment where they can indeed know that those who are holding power in the name of religion, in the name of northern Nigeria, in the name of Fulani and all these other conjectures and all of that, the southern politicians have the opportunity right now to use that momentum, stamp their feet. You don't need election in 2023. You don't need to be president in 2023. It is a complete mirage, and they're self-serving. If you can ignore the economic damages done by Boko Haram. Let me give you an idea. I'm not in government, but I can tell you few based on the information that are pretty much out there, right? Nigeria is broke, completely broke. Nigeria economy is in negative. Inflation is at the highest and the worst you ever see. And we're talking about 30-35% inflation in Nigeria right now. And I'm just being nice. If you have to really put it on paper, the inflation in Nigeria right now is above inflation or food inflation and other inflation, right? They are currently above 50%. Who will survive with that? The only economy that is generating any fund to run any country, to run Nigeria as we speak, is from the southern Nigeria. That is the only economy. That is where you have real economy that is surviving or managing to sustain Nigeria. Even with that, Nigeria is completely in zero. And that is why they can't create new jobs. Okay? Your Naira is going to continue to fall and fall and fall. And when they say Naira is falling, it simply means in a layman term, let's put it this way. Let's say in 2015, you had 1 million Naira in your bank account. And the bank, let's say you did a fixed term deposit of 6 years. And they are going to give you, let's say, 20% interest every year. So which simply means from your 1 million Naira, you are supposed to be getting 200,000 Naira interest every year. So in 6 years, right? That means your 1 million Naira with the fixed deposit you did in 2015, right now, should have earned you automatic 1.2 million Naira. 2.2 million Naira. Sounds good? So some of those who have advised you on investment, let me tell you how Boko Haram ruined the Nigerian economy and how they do it further and how it affected you directly, but you are only surviving because you think you have your head above water. How did this affect you? In 2015, right? A dollar to the Naira or a Naira to the dollar was 199 Naira. 99 Naira. So which simply means your 1 million Naira, could be just about $500 to $600. Good. Now, if you had left that 1 million Naira in dollars, $600, it would have been a good thing. But here is how this reverse affected you. Today, a Naira to a dollar is now Naira exchange to a dollar is now 500 and maybe 10 Naira. 510 Naira means your 1 million Naira, which was 600 Naira, $600 in 2015, because you left it as 1 million Naira and it's meant to be 2.2 million Naira. Now in 2021, that your 1 million Naira is now 2.2 million. 2.2 million. By the time you now change your 2.2 million Naira to the dollars, what do you think you're going to get? 2.2 million. I'm not so good in mathematics. Somebody said $6,000. You have no idea. You wish. Oh, sorry. I think that's my own bad there. Your 1 million Naira, you are right. Your 1 million Naira in 2015 with 200, with 200 to a dollar should give you how much? Somebody said $6,000 back then, and it will be $3,200 now with your 2.2 million Naira. So when you do the math, have you gained or have you lost? Somebody should tell me. I'm not so good in mathematics, but that's how you can see the change. Now, you don't spend dollars, fine, you don't. But Nigeria is an import-dependent economy. That is why, even though you can produce most of what you use in Nigeria, your businessmen who have their own thousands of or millions of dollars to trade, what do you call it? millions of naira to trade. Yeah. So the same way that naira to a dollar jumped from 200 naira to 500 naira, which is pretty much like a 300 or 250% increase. Yeah. So that simply means if they have 100 million naira to do a business, and they know that this 100 million naira will be exchanged for 200 naira to a dollar, and they need to change it to a dollar before they can transact their business and bring it back to Nigeria, which they are going to end up selling to you. So at the end of the day, business of 100 million naira ended up as, well, I'm not good in mathematics right there again as well, but do you get what I mean now? So 100 million naira, by the time you change it, you budgeted, what do you call it? 200 naira to $1, right? So by the time you exchange your money again, by the time you go to the bank and you have to exchange it for 500 naira to $1, that simply means wherever you budgeted for 100 million, will automatically, by the time you change it to that dollar, will automatically crash. And in order to recoup that, you need what? You need to first shrink your business and then recoup that again from the consumers, you. Thank you very much. I think somebody simplified it for me. For the record, 1 million naira in 2015 was $5,000 grand. And then in 2021, 1 million, what do you call it? 1 million, so 2.2 million naira would then be $2,000. So which means when you had 1 million naira in 2015, you could change it, you could have it for $5,000. In 2021, that 1 million naira in fixed deposit has earned you 1.1 million naira profit. So to you, you probably should have made more money, yeah? But by the time you exchange your 2.2 million naira to the dollar conversion again, you will realize that you only have $2,000. Thank you very much for that explanation there, the special one. You did well. So that's how it affected. So by the time you put the money together, you realize that in 6 years, even though you did a fixed deposit, you have lost $3,000. You only have $2,000 left. That is how many people lost half of their investment in banks, half of their savings, half of their businesses. And that is how millions of people lost half of everything. God bless you. I need to get somebody who can do a better mathematics for me. But you know what? I am so happy that many of you actually get the drill. You got what I'm trying to get at, right? Now, you will have to cough up the money. And that is why a bag of rice that normally, a rice that should be grown in Nigeria, if you have electricity grown in Nigeria, processed in Nigeria to standard, and at the end of the day, crash whatever price is going to be, without having to exchange your naira to $1 before you bring rice to Nigeria, without having to exchange your naira to $1 to bring raw materials of something you can actually get in Nigeria, produce in Nigeria, and crash the price. Electricity, something that could have easily took care of everything for them, but they chose not to make it, what have you, crash the economy. And here you are, you have to buy a bag of rice that you used to buy for 7,500 naira for 50 kg. Now you have to buy that now for how much? 30,000 naira. Can you see the difference? Now, that's how that affects you directly. More people lost their jobs. Many people lost their savings. They lost their investment. Many people, because out of shame of I don't want to become poor than expected, some of them left Nigeria in the last 6 years. So Nigeria witnessed the highest brain drain ever. While the politicians, Boko Haram, continue to borrow. And they are not even borrowing to develop infrastructures that could enhance development, promote manufacturing, and indeed promote growth. They are not after that. They are promoting ideas about Ruga, how to borrow money to build ranches for armed Fulani terrorists all over Nigeria, how to make laws and orders to protect armed criminals and free them. That's what they have been doing for 6 years. Why farms that should grow food naturally, normally, right? Farmers that should grow food became under heavy attacks from terrorists that Nigeria cannot stop, or rather, pardon. So the southern Nigeria became sharer of this. Boko Haram shut down the Nigerian border and then gave the license of who brings in what to Dangote, and then some of the alakis there too. Somebody has something to say that I would like to share. And in fact, it will be my own break. I'm coming back.
In 1960.
Since 1960,
Yoruba they had the port authority.
Yoruba child has never ended the NPA, never.
Yoruba had the custom.
And Yoruba child has never been the one to head custom or immigration. You find all these people. The they even went to the markets in Ibadan and stole their rice in the night. Should we allow this to continue? Never.
Lamentation chapter 5.
Remember, O Lord, what has come upon us. Look and behold our reproach.
Verse 2.
Our inheritance has been turned over to aliens, and our houses to foreigners. Your senior brother in Lagos went to the north to share rice. Your uncle. He went to north to share. Why? Take him to the refinery. Your uncle went to share rice in the north. Yoruba land, we gave our inheritance to the strangers. Who named our airport? Who named it? Capital there. They ravished the women in Zion.
They rape.
Ravished. Rape.
They raped our women. Verse 12.
Our princes are being hung by their thumbs. Our kings now, they have surrendered. They can't do anything.
Láti 1979 tí mo ti ń gbàdúrà fún Nàìjíríà mi ò tí ì gbàdúrà fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá rí àfòní.
1979 I've been praying for Nigeria. I've never prayed for Yoruba land except today.
Gbogbo àdúrà mi ń sin ilẹ̀ Yorùbá mo fẹ́ dojú ẹ̀kọ́.
I begin to direct my prayer to Yoruba land now.
Verse 13.
Ẹsẹ̀ kẹtàlá.
Àwọn ọ̀dọ́mọkùnrin ń ru ọlọ.
Young men are led away to work at milestones.
Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ wa ti di area boys tán.
All our boys
are now ọlọ́kadà.
Hoodlums.
Adé ṣubú kúrò lórí wa.
The crown has fallen from our head.
Ṣadé ò ṣubú kúrò lórí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Has the crown not fallen away from many Yoruba kings?
Tẹ́ bá rí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá bọ́n ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́ jìyà lókè òkun.
If you see the way Yoruba children are walking abroad suffering.
Tẹ́ bá rí wọn ní Dubai.
If you see them in Dubai.
Tayọ̀tayọ̀ la fi ń fẹsẹ̀ rìn gba desert.
With joy, we journey through the desert.
Ẹ wo bitílẹ̀ wa dé dúró.
Look at.
Ẹ̀yin bàbá wa nínú ìgbàgbọ́ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ sókè.
Look at where we are, our fathers in faith. Speak out, oh.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá dákẹ́.
If you keep quiet.
Ọlọ́run á béèrè ẹ̀jẹ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lọ́rùn.
God will ask of the blood on you.
Ẹ má rò pé ẹ máa save pẹ̀lú àwọn security tó ń sọ.
Don't think you will be saved with all this your protocol and security.
Ẹ bá kígbe àdúrà lórí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lákòókò.
You don't shout and pray at this particular time.
Tá a bá gbàdúrà ohun tó ń bọ̀ burú o.
If we fail to pray, what is coming is dangerous.
I hope they listen. And I hope we are all listening, by the way. Because I couldn't really put it much better than what, when I watched that video, I said, I'm going to share that with you. The people in the South, we can point fingers, we can call ourselves, names, we can do all that. But there's something we shouldn't lose sight and focus of. Is the danger of us thinking that going for an election in 2023 is actually somehow going to save us from what these guys have set up. Number one, that they have told you that you can dream for it, but it's never going to be what you think it's going to be. right? And because of that, those who are supposed to speak for us are more interested in power than the safety and security of their people. And they said it is being diplomatic because they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to rock the boat. More than 80,000 schools have been shut in northern Nigeria. Yeah. And they are going to shut down more as this gets, kind of towards the election. They have no balls to question why Nigeria Boko Haram is releasing terrorists without any consultation with any of them, who are likely going to end up to deal with the effects, the consequences of these actions. Some of them are already dealing with it as we speak. There's a report that came that they recovered 3 trillion naira from looters. Yeah. And Malamu, the Attorney General of Boko Haram, refused to remit that into the Nigeria federal port. And when they asked him, he said, the money has been used according to the international agreements. That means the agreement with those who released the money, return the loot. Somebody said 1.7 trillion. That's what they're accusing him of. And I can tell you right now that they actually made the total to be 4.7 trillion naira in total. But they said they cannot account for it. And Malamu said, according to the international law, they have done what they should do with the money. So the southern governors are now kind of not happy that some of this money was stolen by our former governor, former this, former that. Why not send the money back to us? But Malamu said the money belongs to Nigeria and they've done what they have to do with it. You can go and do your worst. That's pretty much what he said. No question, no answer, no question. How can we be so comfortable in such arrangements? Attorney General, your president in chief. So that's why I said, if I have a way of explaining how much I would love the people of the South, we, the Southerners, including the people of the Middle Belt, to know that if there's any time of taking a momentum, of making a difference and changing things as they are now, breaking that fraudulent northern homogeneity or what have you, breaking all of that up, it will be now stamping your feet and say, this is it. It is either we'll break everything up now or we rearrange how this is what it is. So we'll discuss a referendum on many things. Those who want to leave, they will have the opportunity of exercising that. Those who want to build a regional system and what have you, they will have the opportunity of discussing that. Everyone will have the opportunity of agreeing or disagreeing if they still want to be part of Nigeria or not. Right? But you see, this ass licking, pampering and then living in denial or sugarcoating a word to make criminals look like saints, to make criminals look like elder statesmen, just simply because you guys are looking for power, will bring us back to one thing, the same road that you are trying to avoid right now. And that is the road to perdition, the one that has already been charted for Nigeria by Boko Haram and the APC, Egbekegbe. When people ask for referendum, they are not asking for war. And you should all understand this. If what you understand about being in charge is to have a restructured Nigeria, one thing everybody should know is that we are dealing with barbarians. We are dealing with murderous, heartless, cold-hearted criminals who are pretty much aware of everything we are talking about. All this kind of solutions, all this kind of suggestions and all of that, they are aware of them. It's just that none of them will work for the kind of agenda they are pushing or the kind of the agenda they are running. They want to keep a country together even when people don't want to be together. And they don't want people to talk about it. Southern unity. Crucial, important, putting all our interests all together, handing an hegemony that is going to endanger all our lives in the long run. And at the end of the day, right, do not participate in an election that you have no control over. An election that is already written, already won and lost, even before the date of the election is chosen. And this is the truth, because that's the system that you have. And do not deceive yourself. These guys can lose all power. They can let all power go. But there's a particular power that they won't let go. And that is the power of fear that Nigeria cannot break up as long as they control the leverage of power in Nigeria, starting with the presidency. It doesn't matter who is the president. It doesn't matter. They control it by controlling the defense. If they are not happy with what is, whoever is there, who happened not to be, whoever they want to have there, then they stage a coup, kick that person out. They are the only people who can stage a coup in Nigeria and get away with it. And when we talk about Southern solidarity, why not unite based on our differences too? Because at the end of the day, what we are all looking for is a bit of a liberty, something that gives you a bit of a sanity, clarity, citizenship, something that makes you get to know that, well, I am from this country and this is what they stand for. And if you ask everyone right now, what are you going to be fighting for to keep Nigeria? And shockingly, you'll be sad that many don't have much to say. So why not just, we have countries in Africa that are pretty much doing fine, maybe not so greatly. With the numbers they have, they are able to manage their problems better than ours, that rather than manage or fix our problems, we're just setting ourselves up for more, for something worse, like releasing dangerous terrorists, paying up a repentant terrorist. These are dangerous things that are going to come back to bite us in the long run. And we said, if you have to release all the terrorists and pardon them, then maybe you should release all the criminals in the prison, because I don't think any of them has committed as much crime as killing hundreds of people, ransacking villages, kidnapping children, and selling them off as slaves, sex slaves, children, in this modern day and time. So why keep them in prison when you have nowhere to lock up a terrorist? So if the South won't demand it, I don't know what we're going to be demanding for. And when I say demand it, I'm talking about this kind of united front. There are people who have the capacity to organize a general conference, a general assembly, a general something, call it whatever. I remember when I made that same suggestions to our people in Yoruba land, I said, if we really want to do something, and we are not asking for war, right? Conversation that will lead to having a chat about our further existence of being part of Nigeria. That conversation will always, it's going to happen. So I said, then they should begin the process of at least mounting the pressure. Let those who claim to speak for Yoruba land do something. And they did do something, I remember. And that was way back in April. Sadly, this is August. They gave the Yoruba lawmakers, they gave the Yoruba governors and the rest of them to begin to draft the laws on referendum in their different house of assembly. None of them has done that in Yoruba land to date. But they did call that meeting in Ibadan, if you remember that, in Ibadan. We haven't seen anything after that. Then they did constitute a very larger body that comprises of all the kind of organizations in Yoruba land to promote the Yoruba Nation campaign. And trust me, it was one of those moves to stage and lay foundation for something that can get people involved. And today, see, somebody is talking about it on their own pulpit, right? A pastor is bold enough. Many of them are going to pop up as well. In Yoruba land, speak to people directly. Tell them why they deserve better. Now I'm asking for the similar thing from the southern Nigeria. Politicians have tried to say they could do this, but we know that it is for their own personal and selfish gain, no doubt. But that they came out to do it, we should at least acknowledge that they did come out to say, we're going to take this action. And that triggered a lot. What we expected was that there shouldn't be any kind of backpedaling and then sugarcoating or causing towards these same guys that you all know that their idea is so backward enough for them to be defending cows, roaming the street, roaming your cities in 2021 and telling you that if you don't stop that laws you want to make, then you should forget the power in 2023. Linking cows with your 2023 presidential ambition is enough insult to all this political class in Yoruba land. But who am I to say it's an insult when some of them don't even see it as anything? It's pretty much like we are the ones who feel insulted that those who claim to be representing us decided that they were going to make laws to protect us from all these marauders. And then they told them that if they do that, they should forget about 2023 power. Yet, those who are telling the Southerners to forget about 2023 if they make laws to stop cows from roaming the streets in the South are actually going to keep the power by with the money they are going to take from the southern Nigeria. I mean, how does that even make any sense? There are many things that people of this age should start coming up with. But however, I'm not going to bother myself with the kind of crop of guys parading themselves as political representatives or political leaders in Yoruba land this time. I'm not going to bother myself with them. And that's why we do much now to inspire those who are coming after, those who are like us, those who are coming after us, this generation who have the chance, the access to information that were denied them maybe for so long, to believe that these criminals representing us actually had our interest at heart when they didn't. Now, they have the opportunity to know better now, which means if you know better, you are expected to do better. Do not give excuses for criminals who can't stand for us, who can't defend us, who can't speak for us boldly, or who speak, or the those one they call the double speak. They pretended to speak for us, but they ended up having to just speak for themselves, like Fayemi and gang. They are more interested in 2023 than the safety of the Yoruba land, the safety of the southern Nigeria. They are more interested in that. And do not deceive yourself. But we have other organizations in the southern Nigeria who can actually make a huge difference in changing things. I mean, influencing things. I like that word. And some of them who are currently probably challenging or chasing their own different causes differently, maybe they too should take advantage of the vacuum. I know so many people who are going to have to wait till the, till their dream for 2023 is shattered. You can tell people, you can advise people on what you think can be done, but you can't make them do it. And that's the category I think I fall into. Baba T, thank you very much. I'm glad I didn't miss your super chat there. Okay, with the success of the Taliban in Afghanistan, you do feel like Nigeria is the next prime target for the Grand Master Plan of Islamizing Africa. You see, my own say on that, sincerely speaking, Baba T, is that we won't really see a kind of a Taliban takeover style, but you're going to see Talibans in Babariga. You're going to see Taliban's ideology being further promoted in Nigeria until you all realize that you can't fight it. Because if you try to fight it, you are going to be fighting some already protected terrorists who are based in northern Nigeria. And because they will be using the name Nigeria and democracy to perpetuate that and propagate that, they have the allies that that will eventually defend them. Okay. So some people, when we say take over of northern Nigeria, or them is taking over Nigeria and then enforcing the Sharia like the Taliban just did in Afghanistan, yeah, is probably ironical to so many people, or let me say it's ironical and not so clear to so many people. I don't think they are just going to declare that this caliphate just like that. They have different ways they are going to do it. They're already there. What they haven't done is to just tell you that Nigeria is already a caliphate. Saying that would trigger many of you to say, wow, how did they do that without gun? They did it because many of you, fell for the lie of change that they called democracy, that these change criminals rode onto power. So you already have this in place. You already have this Sharia, all this Sharia stuff, staring all of you in the face. But they just haven't really make it official. And yes, Nigeria is not far from it, so to speak. Because I remember just yesterday, one of those who were supposed to be the NNPC stalwart, one of the directors in NNPC, a guy who happens to be from Kano State, and he said, thank God the Taliban have taken over in Afghanistan. It is a win-win. It is a win-win for Islam. He couldn't contain it. He couldn't hold it. He had to share that. And he was so happy. And that's just one person. There are millions of them like that in northern Nigeria who feel that way. So taking over northern Nigeria and declaring a caliphate is just going to be like a walk in the park. Probably not. I think what they are doing right now is to solidify that takeover by attacking other communities who don't share that same belief with them. And they have been doing that and killing thousands of people for it. So it's already ongoing. It's just that they haven't really made it official. And when people in the southern Nigeria say, I forget it, they can't come to the south. And I say, how do you think we're going to defend ourselves? Baba, I know we will defend ourselves, Abi. You want me to believe that? And I actually want to start saying that, not just saying it. You get what I mean now? Not just saying it. We should be able to. We have seen where we have told you that their way of coming in is not almost always about the cows. They have other ways. You remember this video?
I say now we really cook on inside. Come inside. Okay, this one I nail the take. They're not the mumu. Now allow the laugh also. When you don't do your own go, they go say, see, in things saying wise. We don't know how many checking for the you see, you raise the rubber, they put another top slippers. Full loaded magazine. No, this one is not full loaded. They don't use them. With one color. That rifle is not safe. Second one. Wait. Oh, see the count in the back. All this one mostly in the police go find out. That rifle is not safe. This one, this is the. I say that rifle is not safe.
So they don't have to bring cows. And from the report we have already, they are everywhere in the south. And all they need is just to receive an order to say, show them, burn them, and that's it. We'll begin to run. And then you realize that, I remember Maiyegun talking about this. I don't really wish that happened, right? But like they say if witches, if wish were us or wishes were us's, beggars will ride. You can't wish evil away. You don't wish it away. You work to stop it or prevent it from happening. That's how you stop evil, in a way. You see those who move those guns about, right, are the people who did this.
Jama'a, kun ga halin da muke ciki, mu ne ɗaliban kwalejin gona da ke nan Bakura local government wayanda aka ɗauka. A halin yanzu haka ma muna fuskantar barazana ta kashi. Muna fuskantar barazana ta kashi daga gare su muddin gwamnati bata ɗauki mataki cikin awa 24 ba. Wallahi sun kai mu ga gawawwakin wayanda sun ka ɗauko eko hoji kuma sun gwada mana kuma sun tabbatar mana da duk ba ɗauki mataki ba da nan zuwa sahi.
Do you get that? That's just today. Those that got kidnapped in Katsina State. So they shared their video and they said, if you don't pay us ransom in 24 hours, we're going to kill them. So they took those people to the people they've already killed and said, look at these ones. We just killed them. We'll kill you if your people don't pay us money in 24 hours. Poor people having to cough out millions of naira. And politicians are there in Abuja, right? Talking about cows, talking about Ruga, talking about how the South ate the North, talking about how the South trying to humiliate the North. Yet children, poor people, women are being captured every day, put through that kind of a trauma in Nigeria. So why should any Southern person want to be president of Nigeria? To be president over what? Just to come and take his own share too, isn't it? They borrow money to build a rail line from Nigeria from Katsina to Maradi in Niger Republic. 1.9, almost $2 billion. $1 billion should be how much? 510 billion naira. So $2 billion should be almost 1 trillion and 20 or 20 billion, I don't know. That's the money they are borrowing to construct a rail line to the entire money generated by Katsina State from 1999 to 2021. Put everything all together, it's not up to 200 billion naira. What am I even talking about? But let's be nice. For 21 years, Katsina State, where Boko Haram comes from, they never generated up to 200 billion naira for 21 years. The trade between Nigeria and Niger Republic, they said it's between $250 million to $500 million. But Nigeria solely will borrow 2 billion and construct a line to bring all those terrorists into Nigeria. And then they can get amnesty. Like Nigeria can send plane to Niger to go and bring a repentant terrorist, send plane to Libya to go and bring repentant terrorists. Why the victims of terrorism in Nigeria are languishing in different kind of IDP camps? Some of them are still even being kidnapped. How heartless is that? And why should we be part of that? Why do you want to be president of such country? What do you want to change? Do you want to tell them that they can no longer control the oil blocks? Or do you want to tell them that they can no longer be in charge of the NNPC? And the rest of anything you want to take them off? Do you want to tell them that they can no longer be in control of the military? And in fact, you want to be just and a just president. You want to take all the Nigerian armory from the northern Nigeria and spread them all over the country for security and for protection. Would you be able to do that without them shooting you down or shooting you dead the following day? Who wants to be president of Nigeria? For Nigerians. For real. Who? You can be president if you want to be president, but 2023 shouldn't be about election. I know that I might not really be that bigger voice that can make that difference, but the Yoruba Nation, the Ilana Omo Udua, they've already come out to say they want a referendum for 2023 and not an election. The Biafrans have said the same thing. And that's why I said, if we have a unity of purpose from the South, why can't everybody come together and demand for something different, for something better right now before they go into any election with anybody? I mean, why should you want to be interested in the election in the first place? Because they are telling you that if you don't participate, they are going to put whoever they want there, and that person will do whatever they want anytime. Did you put Boko Haram there? Did you? Even starting from your local government, did you vote for that? Did you put that your governor there? The system doesn't allow you to put anybody in anywhere. You know it. I know it. Going into that arrangement is just like validating it. But fine. If that is what you would need to get you back to your own normality, don't come back here in 2 years' time or 3 years' time and start pointing fingers and start blaming people who are currently telling you right now, do not participate in this charade. But by the time everything goes to the bust again, by 2024, you will come back like many of you came back in 2015. Don't go into this journey only for many of you to come back to start pointing fingers. Are you not the one who voted for Boko Haram? Are you not the one who was campaigning for change in 2015? Until some people are beginning to say, no. They open your eyes. Are you blind? These are the people warning you never to be part of this nonsense. So is it because he's a Yoruba man now, so it's automatically one of them? Are you that mad? Are you that stupid enough not to see through? Until people begin to tell you, some of you are on the same voyage now, on the same journey. 2023. You see, don't do that. We should all try and send who away? You have no capacity to. But the only way to send them away is never to be part of them. Change course, chart new course. Force them to the table and tell them enough. How do you do that? The Southern unity. There are people who have more influence, more control, who can do anything like that. But it's only when people want it. Do you want to go for an election, or you just want to stay away and then pray that something happens? Then you don't want to be part of those who want to make the difference, and you also don't want to be part of those who want to be part of the rot as well. Fine, choose a side. You can't sit on the fence. Sitting on the fence is pretty much like you pretending to be for something good when you are actually not in any way sad or feeling bad about what is wrong. So choose a side, spread the message. If the Southern Nigeria can stand our ground, there is no way in furthering or any kind of a strengthening of Nigeria under this arrangement. If anyone tells you to work towards how to strengthen Nigeria, how to unite Nigeria, they are not being honest. And being dishonest will never strengthen Nigeria. You get what I mean now? Being dishonest will never, ever unite Nigeria. And trying to be politically correct as well will never wish away the problem. You know the problem, address the problem, make sure it's completely solved and resolved. And what is this problem? The inequality and mismatch of Southern and Northern Nigeria must be discussed. And those who don't want to be part of it anymore must be given the peaceful exit plan. There's no point in killing people to do that. Killing people will not strengthen Nigeria. Killing people will not unite Nigeria. That's what they have been doing for the past 60 years. They have been killing people, sending people to jail, sending people to exile. They have been doing all these horrible things. And still, Nigeria was never united. Still never united. So don't preach that kind of unity that says the victims should keep quiet and endure. Just accept it. Accept this. Let's just live together as one. That doesn't work. You don't use that as a one-size-fits-all solution and then you expect the whole problem to disappear. That is why it will never disappear until there's a conversation that says, we don't want to go through this path anymore. We don't want to go through this road anymore. And there should be a conversation around that. I mean, well, you see, the only people who are holding the leverage right now are the people who believe they have the control over the defense, the military, the all of that, and they can do whatever they like. If they disagree with you, they kidnap you and put you in jail. Or they can even kill you. I mean, how does that build unity? How does that build strength? How does that build a country? When in 2021, intelligent people are doing their best to make sense out of how to build a country with cows. I mean, in 21st century, that's what the intelligent people in Nigeria are struggling to manage to do with now. How to build a country with cows. When the rest of the world are, scrambling for scientific advancement, technological development, and other things that advance human, growth and all of that, Nigeria is conversing on how to build a country of 21st century cows. That shouldn't be something that should be our lot, our destiny. I mean, generally, if you are for peace, like myself, that conversation should be had. Then the people should demand for it. How do people demand for it? Just do what I do. Tell them the truth. Tell them the truth. They can't think. But people can only think with available information at their disposal. And that is why you have access to more information and everything that can help. Engage in conversation that educate people, that tells them that they can have it better. It shouldn't, it shouldn't always be like this. But it will continue to be like this if we continue to think we can wish it away. The Fulanis don't negotiate, people say. But you can take your stand. There's nothing like Fulanis don't negotiate. The Fulanis, come on, man. The reason why they don't negotiate is because those who will do the negotiation are already in bed, licking their asses. Do you understand? Those that we believe that hold some leverages and all of that, they've already traded those leverages for a plate of a porridge. Those who should scare them are already licking their boots. That's what makes it look like, why would you negotiate with somebody who already licking your ass? Somebody who is already pretty much, showing that he's below you by everything. It's like bringing yourself, that's how they feel now. They feel like you are asking them to bring themselves so low to come and talk to those who will never look them in the eyes. They dare not look them in the eyes. We don't have anybody from the southern Nigeria that could look them in the eyes with authority, with any authority. Those who could look them in the eyes became the haunted. Oloye Sunday Igboho became haunted. People got killed in his house. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu became haunted, kidnapped. People got killed in his house. People are still being killed. These are the few people who could look them in the eyes. The rest of those you see around, governors, this, governors, that, and the rest. These are Lilliputian simpletons. These are just kind of opportunists who are living, they are product of the system, but they are living through the system. They can only be sustained by the same system. Asking them to stand up to this Fulani oligarch is like asking for too much, even though we won't stop asking. Somehow, as long as they are holding that places and continue to claim to speak for us. But we shouldn't also expect too much from them. I mean, who expect too much from them anyway? The reason why we don't call them our leaders is because they are not leading us. They are actually leading themselves. You know that. So we are now asking that they should be men enough. I mean, they should be men enough. I'm not asking for too much. Be men enough and take a stand. A stand like that one that they said on the open grazing. This today is the 18th of August. We're just about 12 days away or 13 days away from September, when we expect all the southern states to have all promulgated laws that would ban open grazing. We have almost 80% of them who have done it right now. Edo State is not doing anything yet, and a few other places. I heard today that the Bayelsa House of Assembly are also passing the law. We also heard that the Imo State House of Assembly have passed the open grazing law. I believe that's true. And then, but we haven't heard from many, I mean, some few of them, I would say. So let them come out on the 1st of September and make that bold announcement again. And this time around, follow it up with other demand they made just last month in July, when they gave those their communique in Lagos. They said they will be meeting every month. I expected them to meet this month, but maybe they will meet in September and they'll take that position. And then they can tell them to go to hell with the threat from Yetiala about 2023, because 2023, in fact, is not going to be the priority. I would like to see that and send that kind of message and let the whole thing start. Carry the people along. Shouldn't that what it should be? I mean, if you ask me, not 2023 about somebody becoming president and you working your ass off, trying to convince people to believe that Nigeria can still be better if you have a Yoruba president or if you have an Igbo president. Good luck with that, by the way. I can only speak my mind. I don't control what you would do, right? But at the end of the day, just know this. Some people thought that they could save Nigeria in 2015. They brought in Boko Haram, APC, Egbekegbe, and you know the end result. Some of them are no longer in Nigeria today. They've run away. Some of them are no longer alive. They are dead. Those who are currently trying and struggling to see how to either live with it or how to escape from it. So if they are telling you that there is another hope for 2023 and you believe them, referendum sound like a piece in your hair and all that, yeah? Makes you feel so kind of too big to have a conversation around that. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay? The 2023 election they are asking you to go and work for, go ahead with it, right? I'm going to be here to remind you then that, you see, for every action of yours, you can blame the rest of the world for your problems. You can try to point fingers at the end of the day. But somebody like me will never be in any way amused by your confused state of mind, because I know one thing: for every action you make, yeah, directly or indirectly, consciously or unconsciously, once you make this decision to go and join them, to go and mobilize for 2023, I know one thing, and that is elections have consequences, and for every action, there is always going to be consequences as well. If you can live with it, right? Do not become so enraged, so mad, so sad, like so many of these Buhari idiots, these cyberbarians of today, yeah, who are so mad and angry that somebody like Maiyegun will never stop talking, because the calamity they brought upon themselves has not just only consumed many of them, it's consuming those who even rejected the calamity in the first place. In that year 2023 mirage, yeah, I hope I'll be here to remind you that you chose to go that route and journey, and you called those who were trying to call you back, call your attention to this suicidal mission again. You call them names, just like you are looking at me right now, and somehow God knows how you are feeling. But trust me, go for it, and then you will live with the consequences if you would live at all. But apart from that, let's continue to encourage this. Stop pointing fingers. Stop making this a competition or a kind of me versus you, us versus them. We have enough to unite us. The division that they are milking is due to our own ignorance and most importantly, our short-sightedness. Come on. We should be united all together with the injustice that everyone has suffered, the marginalization, even this state of terror that is now putting everybody under the blanket of fear every now and then. These are enough to let you know that those who brought us to this level, benefiting from it, enjoying the power that comes with it, they would love to keep it this way, as long as you keep it this way as well. Scared, afraid, so scared to actually ask for something different, so scared to join others to ask for something different. And indeed, let the dictator know that people's power will always be bigger than people in power. So it's up to you. It's up to me. I'll do my part. You should do yours. I'll see you some other time, everyone. Thank you so much for your time tonight, by the way. And then to my friends on YouTube, please take your time before you leave, right? Give me that thumb up. And if this is your first time of watching Maiyegun as well, give me that subscription button. Subscribe on there, set your notification on, and you won't miss any of this. And if you are just joining as well, you can watch this all over again from the start. To every one of you tonight, good night.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Presido bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Igbó nìna kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.